And now we will have the second today presentation, Podkarpacki Center of Innovation. And the presenter is Timea Sulenta-Pluta, the Director of Research Commercialization of Podkarpacki Center of Innovation. The Podkarpacki Innovation Center in Rzeszów provides scientists, small and medium-sized enterprises and students with access to highest quality research and development facilities. In this way, it supports innovation and entrepreneurship in the region. The center helps universities from Podkarpacki in transferring knowledge and technology to the private sector. And the details about Podkarpacki Center for Innovation we'll have in this presentation. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Today I will tell you something more about Podkarpacki Center for Innovation. What are we dealing with, and what are our main activities? So I will start from the beginning. Podkarpacki Center for Innovation was formed as a result of cooperation between Podkarpacki European Commission and Ministry of Development under Catching Up Regardin's initiative. Work by experts and cooperating experts prepared the regular of the central activities. We divided activities into elements called as platforms. Platform 1 is dedicated for a grant program. Platform 2 is dedicated for practice contract.
Voices, because we can barely hear you. I don't know, maybe can you try to speak louder or something like that, because there are some problems with voice.
Okay. I will try. If you can hear me now better?
Yeah, I think now it's better.
Okay. So, as I said, we divided our activities into the 3 elements called as a platform. Platform 1 is dedicated for grant program. Platform 2 is dedicated for structured contract research, and platform 3 for protolab. The project main partners are Technical University of Rzeszów, University of Rzeszów, and University of Information Technology and Management based in Rzeszów. And this is very unique project, which was created thanks to cooperation between the scientific units with institutions and organizations from our region, Podkarpackie. And the main focus is to connect the world of the business and world of the science. The project is the part of regional operational program of the Podkarpackie Voivodeship, and our mission is to support, to inspire, and to integrate the stakeholders of our ecosystem, of a regional ecosystem. Our financing amount is, like you can see at the slide, 100 million Polish currency zloty, and it is in 100% funded by the European Union funds. Because of this funding, we are able to support scientists without any fees, because our activity is, we work as a non-profit organization, so there are no fees for scientists who cooperate with us. We define our organization as a startup, a lean startup. Why? Because we still search for our business model and need to be very flexible because of the processes taking place inside the organization. We say that our organization is alive, and the decision related to the functioning of the company are often made in very short period of time, such a week or a month. And this is primarily the result of the impact and expectations of company's environment, but also because of the construction and optimization of management processes as well. The practical verification of theoretical tasks that were defined at the beginning of the project in World Bank report and in the application for the project for co-financing. The initial definition of PCI was already defined in this World Bank report and was related to 4 points. First, it's the understanding of the client needs. The second is the designing the solution, designing the business model, and the last one is identifying the most critical risk. How we can define the current stage and where we are right now. So right now we can say that we are in the phase of testing and creating. We want to support and increase the level of innovation in our region, in Podkarpacki region, and we want to find the effective way to create the value for our target group, means scientists. And at this stage, it is really important for us to collect as much information as it possible about the scientific research, about the science possibilities and technical possibilities of our universities. And after we collect this information, we need to verify them and analyze. And it will, this information will become the basis for the services portfolio and our business model for our company, and who we want to be and how we define ourselves in the future. So PCI as a professional service company. Our strategy is to build this kind of professional company, which will be which will use the chain of value important for the stakeholders from Podkarpackie ecosystem. And there are 4 main elements of this value chain. And first element is, I think, where we are right now, is the selection of information, is building the relation between the business, between the scientists, building our brand image, and try to understand the customer needs, and concerning that, building also our services portfolio. And the second element is finding the resources, as well as communication with the customer, making this interaction with the target group, with the scientists. Of course, it is also about developing our strategy and organizational culture inside the company. The third element is delivering and control the process of delivering, and it is also connected with evaluation of technological possibilities and potential of researchers, of scientists at Podkarpacki region. And of course, it's also connected not only with delivering these kind of services, but also the after-sale service, and also connected to the to our team engagement in the whole process of delivering. And the last element of this value chain is the connection and innovation. We want to provide all the time an innovative service to our target group, to our customer. We want to make also the possibilities to provide educational offer and support to our customers. So going further and starting to talking about what are we doing exactly, what kind of offer we have and what kind of support we want to provide to the scientists. We analyzed the direction of technology development and streams of funds flowing from venture capital, and we selected the development directions of technologies and solutions that PCI can support through offered grant program. And the main directions are motorization, ICT, quality of life, aerospace, and the aviation. And now, fluently, I will go to our grant program. I will talk what kind of support is this for the scientists. And grant program, we can define it as tool and first element of our support program. It is a tool for founding ideas and scientist project. And right now we know that we already closed the gap for those scientists who have no confidence to apply for government funding because of the greater competition or much more complicated rules of application to the government funding. So we already had 2 calls for proposals to addition of this grant program, and we see that there is a big interest from our scientists from our region in this program. And in the first edition, there were we received 101 application. In the second one, 143. We had funded 25 projects in the first edition and 63 in the second one, and the total amount of the granted funds in those both edition was more than 14 million of Polish currency of zloty. We see that the leading regional smart specialization of the Podkarpacki Voivodeship is quality of life. As you can see, 7 out of 25 projects in the first call for proposal was connected to bioeconomy and food. And in the second call for proposal, 17 out of 63 projects was connected to the healthcare. If we look at the project topics, we can see that the thematic areas go from information and communication technologies through the education, tourism, and ending on advanced material and tools. So we see that there is really a big variety of the thesis in the project, in the grant program. Of course, there are selection criteria for the projects which apply to the grant program. And of course, the first and very important one is the compliance with the definition of research and development process, because we know that there need to be this science advantage of the project to be able to apply to the grant program. Of course, we also always evaluating what is the real outcome of the project, because we want to finance only those projects who have some big commercialization potential, so that we are sure that there is the next step, the next step of the development of the technology or of the innovation, which is described in the application to the grant program. And of course, we need to be also sure that the scientists know what are or what should be the next step to develop this project. What can be financed in this in the grant program? Of course, the purchase of materials for research, of equipment, but not being a fixed asset, because this we cannot fund. Rent or lease the scientific equipment, cost of patents protection. This we understand that we can finance the application cost, the application patent cost, and of course the administrative cost of the university, which is the 15% of total value of the granted fund. But like I said, the grant program is only a tool, and this is the first stage of the technology development process. And it starts from idea, from the grant, then the scientists try to find a solution for the problem which was described in the project. Of course, there is the innovation technology, the technological audit, which is already provided by us. Why? Because the grant ends with the program grant ends with the technological readiness level 4 or 5. That it means that it is just before preparing the prototype of the technology, and it also means that there are needed further funding for to develop this technology, to develop the product. So when the grant program ends, we try to support scientists by our technology development department, where the technological audit is made, and also we can prepare the business plan. We can make the market analysis, the competition analysis, and try to provide the best commercialization strategy of this project. The best commercialization strategy is also not only based on the profit which can be reached by commercialization of the result of the project, but we also trying to understand the scientists' needs and the innovator needs, because sometimes they are not interested into creating a new company, into building a startup, and they just want to limit their engagement in the project as an author of this technology, and they just want to sell or license this technology. So we always talk with the scientists, with the authors of the project, of the invention, to find the best solution, the best commercialization strategy, which will be profitable, but also comfortable for the scientists. So if we're talking about the technology development, what else support we can provide? We can, of course, prepare these business plans, the commercialization strategy, but also finance the other next development process of the results. I mean, for example, some expertise needed to the further development, or making the visualization of the project, which will be more understandable for the investors or for the buyer. Of course, we can also provide the financing for participation in industry events, like, for example, now in June, we will be a part of INTARC, the innovation event, which is right now in June, organized in June. We also able to present the technologies to the venture capitals, or to the other potential investor of the research result. The second platform of Podkarpacki Center of Innovation is structured contract research. But before I will go through those structured research, I want to tell you something more about the innovation broker. The innovation broker in our company is the cell which have the contact with direct contact with the enterprise, with the business, with the industry. And at the beginning, when we started the project, we didn't knew exactly who is our target group. But because of some restrictions and law restrictions, we needed to focus only on scientists, not on enterprise. And we cannot provide our support to the enterprise. So concerning that, we try to build the relation between the scientists and enterprise, of course, supporting scientists, connect ideas, people, organizations, and communities which are able to support the innovation process. We also, like I said at the beginning, try to collect those information which will help us to define the portfolio of services that can be conducted by the scientists from our region. And of course, we also, our main goal is to implement the research result of Podkarpacki University to the industry. I think we will be happy, really happy with that, if we can see that solution in the industry. So now going to the structured research, what that really means and how we work in this field. So we started with the Podkarpacki network of research and calibration laboratories, where we greater 62 laboratories right now, and we try to build this network to give the possibilities to the scientists to give them a support in the accreditation process for the laboratories, to give them an opportunity to meet other scientists and with representatives of other laboratories, to be able to work together on some bigger project where the one laboratory is not enough to provide all those research which are needed in the project. We greater 18 laboratories from the Technical University of Rzeszów, 23 laboratories from University of Rzeszów, and 1 laboratory from University of Information Technology Management in Rzeszów. But Podkarpacki network of research and calibration laboratories is not only a network, but we also started with the IT platform, badania PCINN.org, where we offer this research, this testing to the enterprise. It is a easy and quick way to find the laboratory testing. Right now we have more than 500 laboratory services available at our IT platform. So we also use this platform and use this network to collect information about what are the lack of testing, laboratory testing in Podkarpackie. And basing on that, we want to create Center for Research and Certification. Of course, it is a project for the future. However, it is very important for us at this stage to collect this information. Where are these demands from the market for the laboratory testing, which can be not provided by the universities laboratories which are present in our network of laboratories. And going now to the last platform of our organization, to the ProtoLab. ProtoLab offer is response for the 4 basic problems of students. It means lack of time, lack of financial resources, lack of an idea or lack of competences needed to develop the idea. So this is really an answer for all of these problems of students. And we try to transfer the knowledge, try to connect them to the expert, and try to support them to that they will be able to design their solution and to develop their solution. What are our key programs in the Proto Lab? So there are three focus areas. First is animation and education, and it is really that we want to inspire young people to think creatively. So we want to show them the examples of the success story and try to connect them with the enterprise and also with the people who have this past in creating the startups. We want to also reach not only the students from the universities, but also from the high schools, even from those small cities of our region. If there is limited access to this kind of offer like we provide. So the next focus area is incubating and prototyping. And we want to select the teams in the design competition that we organize and make the further development of the project, which will be the winner of this competition. But we want to support teams not only in the field of workshop and tools, but also in knowledge transfer and organizing the meeting with the industry or public administration, which will be a support in this kind of projects. The third area, focus area, is the Proto Creative Labs, for example, space exploration. And these are the thematic zones focusing around particular problem coming directly from the market, or which is the current field, which is in the current field of science interest. An example, one of this project implemented within the Proto Creative Labs is the space exploration project, and I will tell you something more about this project on the next slide. But now I want to also present our latest activities in the organization of event by PCE. And one of the latest activities is a smart tourist hackathon. It was the first event of this type in Poland. It was a creative marathon with a design part, and it was entirely online and dedicated to the tourist market as one of the leading branches in Podkarpacki region. Our partners in this kind of events, so not only in the Smart Tourist Hackathon, but also in the other that we organize, are representatives of business environment and public administration institution, and we basing on the challenges given by those partners of events, and the participants of the event, students trying to propose the right solution for the problem and create the prototype and develop the prototype. So another example, like I said, about our space exploration project, under which we meeting with the representatives of companies, institutions working on development of the space technologies. I think this is really on time and it is really on the top of the innovation list. The first event has already taken place as a Wednesday Innovation Night. This is how we call it. And this event greater almost 600 participants interested in this subject. We have also started the first stage of this project, which we call New Space Leaders. It's a training program which will end in October, and it will end with the hackathon. And in the result of this project, we want to create teams with both scientists and students on board, who in next stage will work on prototypes of research laboratories that can be placed within the nano satellite. So it is really, really interesting, and we see that there is a big interest from scientists too in this project. Our next key activities for the nearest future for Protolab are the implementation of series of trainings combined with design competitions for secondary school students, but also from students from universities, developing through their thematic design zones, including this example like Smart Tourist Hackathon or space exploration, launching a new Protolab space, which because we are right now building a new building that is under construction right now, and there will be 4 floors of this building. Each floor will be dedicated, will be a part of complementary offer dedicated to our target group, to the scientists and to the students. And on the first floor, we want to create a workshop zone where the students will be able to prototype, to make some experiments. The second floor will be dedicated for conferences, for organizing conferences or other meetings. And the third floor is the creative and co-working space. And the fourth floor, I think the nicest one will be the chill out zone and cafe. We want to be the best cafeteria in the Podkarpackie. Yeah, but I'm only joking, right? So these laboratories, in addition to the standard workshop space, will also provide something new like BioGreen Lab or textile and fabric design, under which we intended to work, for example, on a prototype of a spacesuit, which will be developed in the space project which I already mentioned about. So I think this is it about our main activities of Podkarpacki Center of Innovation. This is Mr. Jacek Kubrak, the chairman of the board, and our management team. And this is the whole team from Podkarpacki Center for Innovation. If there are any questions regarding our organization, I will be pleased to answer all of your questions. Thank you very much.